Hello, my name is Dr. Daphne Henderson, and I am the Service Learning Coordinator at Quest Early College High School. Quest Early College High School is committed to educating the whole child. And at Quest, in addition to our rigorous academic course of study, we provide social and emotional learning through a structured community service program on Fridays, as well as student leadership development and special projects that extend to the whole campus that support service learning. On Fridays, approximately 400 students go out into the community around the school district and volunteer at local schools, businesses, and nonprofit organizations for 1.5 to 2 hours. We also provide opportunities for our juniors and seniors to have internships at businesses where they have a career interest and arrange those internships for Fridays. Our assessment of student learning is a two-pronged approach. First, we look at input from our students, and the reflection asks students, how do you see your work at this site impacting you as an individual outside of school? We also get information from our student internship and volunteer supervisors, and we ask them about specific workplace behaviors such as their ability to show a willingness to work, their attitude. Do they express interest in what the organization or agency or school does? We also ask if they show a commitment to careful and thorough work, or do the students just seem to do enough to get by? And then the last question that we also feel is very important, we ask our internship supervisors how our students respond to correction or feedback.
Please talk to us a little bit about why Quest considers service learning to be a pillar of school design.
Well, I think most schools in America will say that it's important to provide students with a strong academic foundation. But here at Quest, we feel that often what's missing is social and emotional learning. And through service learning, we endeavor to create students where they have to develop empathy, where they have to work at being good listeners, and sometimes where they have to work at compromise and dealing with difficult people, because honestly, that's what we all have to do in the real world. We have found that our students love going to service, they look forward to going to service, and we think it is because it is the one time when they aren't focused on their classes and their books and their schedules and an exam. But it's a day when they are able to go out and be a hero for some teacher or some student or some volunteer worker. So initially we looked at the question and we thought, well, how is this helping our kids learn their academic work? And what we're finding as we talk to students and as we look at their reflection assignments is that being in these situations somehow transforms the child. And once that student is transformed, his perspective or her perspective on their work and the purpose of their work changes. And then once they have those emotions and those character traits, they are able to take the academic course of study that they're provided and really make a positive difference in the world.
Dr. Henderson, talk to us a little bit about the components of service learning and go into detail about each of those, please.
Okay. Our freshman and sophomore students volunteer at elementary schools, some middle schools in the district. They also volunteer at assisted living facilities, and some also participate in helping organize clothes and food at area shelters. Some of the special projects that we have on campus are those that rally the whole school behind a common cause or concern. One of those that we do on a yearly basis is our Honduras project. Our students donate new clothes to children in Honduras. We also have an ESL computer class run by a parent of one of our students. We also have drives where students donate various toiletries to a local shelter for mothers and children who are trying to start their lives over after dealing with poverty or abusive situations in the home. We also have an opportunity for our kids to engage in student internships, And that's a program that we're still developing even further. Students who are juniors and seniors have this option. Our expectations for students in internships deals more with workplace skills. They have to provide their own transportation so that they can get in the habit of being timely. We also have student leadership development during the summer where kids come up to the school and we give them team building exercises and we talk about how to resolve conflicts among their peers and also how to communicate effectively with their peers as well as adults.
Could you give us some of the quick facts, kind of the statistics of the program that shows the impact of our student service on the community?
Well, currently we have about 41 volunteer sites where kids attend. The number of volunteers that are requested by our community partners totals about 350. Now that 350 is just elementary schools and middle schools. It's not even including the organizations that request their students as interns. We have overall about 21,000 hours of volunteer service done by our students, and that's hours of free work. If we had to estimate the internship hours of the entire student body, and these again are our juniors and seniors, it would be around 6,000 hours.
What resources have you or do you use in implementing service learning?
I like to begin with the end in mind. I think that's just based on my years of experience as a classroom teacher in English language arts. So I looked for a text that would help me think about program evaluation and planning before I even created the evaluation assessments that we use. So the book that I relied heavily on is Serve and Learn by Pritchard and Whitehead. And in the book, they really break down how to come up with performance objectives for the skills that you want to enhance and assess in your service learning program. And that can differ, again, based on what you decide is the best fit for your school. But that text really helped me to articulate what those skills were, and then they also give you suggestions about how you can measure those. And so it really helped me to create and follow a trail of breadcrumbs in putting together the assessment instruments that we've used in our program. The second resource that I've relied on is the Guide to Effective Social and Emotional Learning Programs, produced by the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, or CASEL. This resource can be found online at casel.org. What I found most useful about this guide is the articulation of certain characteristics that we want students to have: social awareness, critical thinking, decision making. So in closing, I want to thank you for your interest and your time in learning about our program here at Quest. We feel very passionately about what we do, providing students with opportunities to go out and interface with people in our community. We feel that the experience broadens their perspectives and it enhances their ability to empathize with others. We live in a changing world. Today, it's not about the content that students know because they can readily find that information on the internet. But what we do need, what our world so desperately needs, are leaders who are caring, who are thoughtful and purposeful in what they do, and how they respond to the needs of others.